Hey everyone, this is Mary Jane Cody with the Perry County Extension Office, and I'm going to do a recap video of our virtual camp. We prepared yesterday extenders, which are the ribbon, or some people are doing crochet extenders, but we're going to show for this example an extender made with cross grain ribbon and buttons that are sewn on at the end to give a loop to wear with your face mask. A lot of the medical professionals and first responders are they have to wear the mask, and of course the general public is being asked to wear the mask now. But the face mask can be really uncomfortable because the elastic loops have to go behind your ears, and it's not very comfortable, and they can slip off. And if you try to make a face mask with old elastic like I did, because I didn't have a way to order any, it was difficult to find some. My elastic actually broke because the elastic was 4 or 5 years old. But this is an example of what the elastic looks like that loops over your ear. And the way that the extender works is the cross grain ribbon, or whatever you use to make this, goes behind your head, and you have buttons sewn onto the ends. So what happens then is it gives them a little more leeway as far as the stretchiness of the elastic, and it just kind of gives a break to the ears. So this is how we did it. Yesterday, when we did the video, I cut the pieces 5.5 inches long. Well, today I'm going to do this video showing about a 7-inch piece of the ribbon. After cutting it out and making the one that I did yesterday, I thought it really wasn't long enough to go around my head, which is probably a typical size for a man's head. So the back of it probably needed to be a little bit longer. So we went with 7 inches. And what I'm going to do, because cross grain ribbon tends to fray really badly at the ends, we're going to actually tuck that over and make a little hem at the end. So that's going to take up some of the ribbon as well. So I'm going to pin the ribbon at the end. And the reason that I'm doing 2 pieces of ribbon, which you wouldn't have to, but I thought for strength purposes that it might be better. Because some of the instructions that I've seen online actually called for some sort of cross grain that was actually a little bit thicker. And I don't know anything. I've never seen it, and I don't know how difficult it would be to find it. So for the same purpose, we just took 2 pieces and we're pinning them together, and then we're going to stitch all the way around using a hand stitch. Now, this can be done on a sewing machine. It wouldn't take 2 minutes to sew it around on a sewing machine. But you would still have to sew on the buttons at the end with your hand sewing. So I thought if any of the youngsters were doing this, this would be a good project to learn a little in and out stitching and give them a chance to work with a needle. Now, you need to have parental supervision, but it would be a good little project for them to do using a hand sewing needle. So I also decided yesterday that I would find a little bit thicker thread. And at home I had some black, it's upholstery thread, so it's super strong. And yesterday I was trying to put a double layer of thread to make it stronger, but this I think will work much better and be less bulky. So the way that I'm doing this, on the back, these are tucked under to give the hem effect. And what I'm going to do is kind of stick it inside the hem so that we hide the knot that I put on the end. And we can kind of just tuck it inside to protect it. And then we just do a stitch just in and out. And anymore, I have to use a pretty good sized needle. The older I get, the worse my eyesight is. So even with glasses, sometimes it's hard to see. So I'm doing a pretty good sized needle. But what we're going to do is just go all the way around to put the two ribbons, sew them together all the way around, turn down here and go across, and then go all the way across the top. So we'll come back here in just a moment when I have it completely sewn. So I have the ribbon sewn all the way around with a in and out stitch across the ends, and I came back around so that everything is tied together. And now it's time to put the the buttons on the end. So I have two small buttons, and the size of the button really doesn't matter. They said even a little bit larger button would work because it gives more for the elastic to loop around. But one of the things they mentioned was that it should be a flat button, so nothing with ornament on it or that would stick out. But I'm just going with it's about a 5/8 inch button, and we're going to sew one at each end. So to sew a button on, especially with just two holes, it's simple. Just in and out until you feel like it's snug. And again, I am using an upholstery thread, which is quite a bit stronger than a typical thread. So if you happen to have that laying around, that would probably be an excellent choice to use to make the ribbon, the extenders. So as you can see, just going in and out several times and then kind of tying it off in the back. I usually kind of just tuck the needle in on the back, and then what I do is as I'm pulling through that piece that I went tucked in on the back, there's a little loop there, and I take my needle and put it through the loop and then just pull it through, and that ties it off and gets it secure. So we can trim that, and you've got one really secure button on the end. So the second button we're going to do the same way. This afternoon we're going to receive our poultry chain checks, and we've got about 20 sets going out in Perry County. So Zach is on his way to Lone Oak to pick them up, and then we're going to do a mass text with the schedule when he gets back, so everyone will know when to pick up their chicks. And we hope the social distancing goes well and doesn't, put anyone out as far as with their schedule. I hate that I can't get pictures of the kids picking up their chicks, because that's always an exciting time, especially a child that hasn't participated or had any baby chicks before. But I'm going to ask them all to send me a photo when they get them home, so we can do a virtual chick pickup. How's that? Okay, I think I have it good and tight on the front. We're going to tie it off again, and the extender will be complete. Good deal. So we're going to snip that. And as you can see, we've got about a 7-inch extender with 2 buttons on the end. And I can't put my mask on because my elastic broke. I'm going to have to redo that this weekend. But if you took the elastic and you wrapped it around the button, it would just give a little bit more give a little bit more comfort to anyone wearing the mask. I know it'll be good because I tried to wear mine and before the elastic broke and it didn't do real well. It wasn't very comfortable. So I hope that you are able to make some of these for your friends or relatives or even for your family. I think that they will appreciate just this little touch and knowing that you made it. So we thank you all and we'll see you soon.